Star Wars Battlefront teaser came out this morning. We are so hyped.
Didn't rehearse that. I wasn't ready for that.
No, I didn't give him any warning.
Doesn't matter though. Star Wars.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 teaser came out this morning. We are so hyped. What? There's loads of stuff that you need to know.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's do it. We've all got notes. We've not necessarily cross-referenced, so let's do it.
This looks like it could be the Battlefront game that they should have delivered us the first time round.
Yeah.
Because the best thing that I noticed about it was single-player mode.
There's a campaign. There's a campaign.
Yeah, one of the first things they open with is like this kind of unique take on the like Imperial Empire side, where we've got this whole new character who, I mean, we're gonna get into what we.
Is it?
Well.
Okay.
The whole thing with she seems like she's this new character on the Empire side, and they, whatever faction she's with, they witness the explosion of the Death Star at the end of Episode 6, and then they like form some sort of movement to avenge the Emperor, which made me think of the First Order and some sort of like you know like playing off like the formation of the First Order in some sort of fashion. Who knows?
So it could be kind of like Episode 6.5.
Possibly.
Potentially, yeah. We seem to have. There's a single-player story with a female protagonist.
Finally.
It looks like it's post-Episode 6, and she witnesses the explosion of Death Star 2 from the Endor base.
Yes. She also has a little droid companion, because everyone needs a droid companion now.
Wait, no, but was that her? That's my first point, which was we get an establishing shot of 3 people, one of them standing on what looks like to be like a cruiser or like some sort of weird transport vessel. You've got the little droid there. They've all got their helmets on. Now, it's implied in the next shot that it is her because obviously it turns around and she's obviously might have taken her helmet off. But I noticed that the ribbing that was on the top of her jacket is red when it's on the close-up on her, and you don't see it on the back of the figure that's standing there. So it might be...
That's a hell of a spot.
So it might be 2 completely different scenes that have just been mashed together to make it look like we are part of it. We might even be a rebel who's been ambushed.
That was
we don't even know. We don't know.
Well, we might as well mention your theory, because you think that we're maybe not with the Imperials.
I don't know, because it was like little things like the ending image of the trailer shows that you've got hologram kind of cutting somebody down the middle.
Yeah.
You could be that you are an Empire pilot who's defecting and turning over to the rebels because you don't see the point of fighting anymore.
Bodhi Rook.
Or
you are Bodhi Rook as a woman.
Yeah, he'll be TLC.
Booby Rook.
But interestingly, we've seen... So potentially the Rebellion and the Empire as we know them from the original trilogy, but there's also definite First Order there as well.
Yeah.
There's
the mentality of it.
At least the mentality. There's a shot of Starkiller base.
Yeah.
That scene where they did like the Nazi, the very obvious Nazi thing going on.
The Republic!
With the red flags and stuff.
Yeah.
That was right there. That's actually in the trailer.
That leads into one of my... Because did you guys play Battlefield 1?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so you know the way that campaign is just a vignette thing? It's like, let's just jump into different points and just do a thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I think they're going to do for Battlefront 2. It's just like, let's just jump into each movie. Like, hey, you want to do the Darth Maul fight? Here's the Darth Maul fight. You want to do this war from the end of Episode 2? Boom. Like, that's what I think they're going to do.
See, now, I have a slightly different theory on this. I think that this is going to be a contained narrative that's going to be a focused experience, and the multiplayer is going to be like a saga experience. They're going to be 2 very different beasts. And what we saw about the Darth Maul and versus Yoda fight, maybe that is just a character introduction thing for the Galactic Heroes battle.
I took that as more of just like, we'll get to fight in Theed, like Theed's the name of that big power plant place. Like I thought that's just a way of them saying like, hey, you'll be able to fight in here with these characters. Like, they're going to be heroes and villains.
Yeah.
So I didn't take that as anything story related or
okay, right. So I thought you meant that you would just like, it would be like episodic, but it would be like a level dedicated to...
I just meant it would kind of just be like the same as Battlefield 1. You'd have like some sort of overworld and you just pick like the either different eras or like trilogies or whatever and just drop in, drop out.
They've, EA DICE have been asking for a lot of feedback over the past like 6 months from their community saying, what did we do wrong? Because we know we did some things wrong. How can we make
We're a little bit aware.
And I think the thing that everyone has said over and over again is Battlefront 2, as it was, all we really wanted was that like updated for like current gen consoles with potentially like the latest films in there. And
a story mode.
Yeah, well, exactly, in a story mode. And Battlefront 2 sort of had a vague campaign. It wasn't necessarily a narrative, but they had the 501st like clone squadron thing. And I think it's going to be that. I think, like you say, you'll be able to hop into all these different things in multiplayer, like from all eras, all locations. But the campaign itself will be focused on a certain part, a certain point in time, potentially post Episode 6. I know you two, you've not played that much of Battlefront.
I played a little bit.
I have, but I did a whole bunch over Christmas.
Oh, right, okay.
I downloaded it. And,
right,
yeah,
but in
$7.99.
in the current, was that all it was? God.
Shit.
Christmas sale, son.
There you go, you
Alright.
missed that, everyone. In the current Battlefront, they have included a DLC pack for Rogue One,
Yes,
Scarif,
which I have.
and
Scarif, yeah.
Heroes. You had, what's the name in it?
Jin?
Jin, and
Jin Urso.
Deploy the Garrison, what's his name?
Krennic.
Deploy the Garrison.
Krennic, thank you.
Literally just watched Rogue One last night.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
But there was no Force Awakens in there.
No.
But now we're
Now there
seeing
is.
that there's going to be Kylo and Rey, and also, if you pre-order, this is not an advert, if you pre-order,
No.
you get the Last Jedi Heroes, apparently.
Yeah, what could that be?
That's so potentially worrying because it would be very good business to put Luke behind a DLC wall, but it would
Yeah.
also really annoy everybody.
Yeah.
Which, it's EA, so that's of course what they're going to do. But I mean, we don't know. At this point, I think you'll get young Luke, and I think they might put old Luke behind DLC, depending on if he's part of the story or not.
Yeah,
I
he
mean-
might not do much saber fighting in Last Jedi.
That's very true, but we've also been rumoured that we might get the Knights of Ren, so they
Yeah.
might be part of the DLC
True.
as well.
I
which
mean,
would
it
be
says
cool.
Last Jedi Heroes, plural, and my whole thing was
Yeah,
like,
it's got to be one good, one bad, at least.
well, it'd be like villains, I guess. But
Yeah,
Because I was thinking, oh, do they mean like heroes as in the general vernacular, or do they mean like Star Wars Battlefront vernacular, which is heroes on main characters that you play as?
Yeah, I
So
see
it's
what
like,
you mean.
well,
I see what
there
you
are
mean.
enough characters in The Last Jedi, assumedly, that we're going to want to play as. Whether that's people that Luke's been training and he's failed with, or whatever. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
We'll find out more on Friday with Friday's trailer.
We
but-
will.
This is true.
God.
But yeah, one of the things that we kind of jump past is that Darth Maul's in it.
Darth Maul.
I just have to say Darth Maul's in
Darth
it.
Maul is in it. That's gonna be so
I'm
good.
really happy that he's in it. I actually, and this might get a lot of flack, I'm not happy Yoda's in it.
Why?
Because Yoda is
He doesn't play very well.
Yoda is the silliest character to ever fight as
Yes.
or against.
Yes.
Like when
It's a
anyone
bit
who's
of an
played-
odd job kind of
Yeah.
GoldenEye sort of thing, isn't
I mean,
it?
anyone who's played the old Battlefront 2 knows how ridiculous it was to see him just go like, wait. and
It's
just
it's,
like,
it's one of the biggest divisive questions in
It
Star
is,
Wars.
yeah.
My take is always like, you know that episode of The Simpsons when like there's all those Yakuza dudes outside Homer's house and there's that one
yeah.
guy who doesn't talk.
Yeah.
And Homer's like, he doesn't even need to.
I don't want to
do
do
something.
He's gonna do something.
Yeah, Yoda's that guy. He's
Yeah.
Neo. He stops the bullets. He doesn't need
Yeah.
to fight. Like that's Yoda. So like my whole take on Yoda is that he's above it.
Can we talk about a mode that is being everyone's gonna flip their shit over?
Go on.
The fact that we're gonna actually get proper space battles now, like it is all but confirmed. Like
We
with
don't
that
know
shot,
yet.
With that shot of them coming up, with the flight going under, is it Takada or whatever it's called?
Takodana.
Takodana.
Well, you can tell that Jules hasn't played Battlefront.
Oh, is it like probably in there now?
It kind of is, yeah.
In as
Oh,
much as,
okay,
like,
sorry, that's
yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
the
That's
Well,
my
sort
bad.
of.
We can drop that then.
I mean,
that's
interesting.
fine.
I was about to say, like the best mode in current Battlefront is it's called Battle Station, I think.
Right.
Which is it's set on the Death Star. It's got 3 phases. The first one is 2 ships, like Battlefront 2 style, where like you're attacking each other's ships. You
Okay.
don't land on them, but you have to like bomb them
Okay,
and stuff.
right, okay. Got to destroy him.
Second phase, you have to the rebels land on the Imperial ship and have to rescue R2 because he's got plans on him that they
course
need
he
to
does.
rescue.
Of
He's
course
like,
he does.
It's what he does, isn't it?
He's like a walking USB stick.
Phase 3, which everyone loves, and every time you go on the forums, you just see people saying like, "Please make this offline so I can play with my friends."
Right.
It's the trench run,
Oh,
and it's
that
actually
would
the
be-
trench run, and it makes you do because. I always think like I've always thought if they ever do the trench run in a game, what's to stop me just like flying up and across and then down? Like, why? In a way,
Yeah, I
you're
see
like,
what you
why do
mean,
they
yeah.
fly in the trench? But they add
Stay out the way?
a checkpoint system
for
so
badass
you,
points,
Yeah,
that's
for
why.
badass
Yeah.
points. You have to hit all these checkpoints in the trench, so it makes you do it.
Got you. That's cool.
And what I want to see more of, and hopefully we're going to get it, is actual like scenes that are simulated from the films themselves. Because you can give 2 teams an army of soldiers and make them clash together in a familiar location.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily going to be like, oh, I remember when this happened in the film. But you know, to do like the Darth Maul battle or you know, a really iconic.
That Maul battle would need the refined melee thing as well.
Oh, it
Yeah.
would. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
What
but-
about if they adjusted something that happened maybe in like Rogue One? You know, when like the Hammerhead Corvette is driving
Yeah.
the thing into that. Maybe you could either play as the Hammerhead Corvette smashing into it, or you could play as another ship trying to get into the shield generator as
Yeah.
it's like closing down. That could be a fun level.
just stuff like that? would be
Because they
cool.
did that's another thing from Battlefield 1, like they had, I think it's called Territories, they had a mode where it was a huge expanse of land, like a huge map, and you did it in phases.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
Rush. That was the
was it Rush mode?
Yeah, yeah, Rush.
Yeah,
was
so
the
like if
original
they
one.
carry that mentality forward, there are a whole bunch of like progressional battles in Star Wars that you could do in stages.
Yeah.
Like they kind of hinted at it with what you've said, the trench run, but also in the
Yeah.
Rogue One DLC, like you do the whole battle in space, and then you go down to the
yeah.
ground. Like, there's no transitional animation.
No,
you don't land your ship or
Right.
anything, which is maybe where they're going to come in with like proper space battles.
I mean, that would be cool.
So yeah, space battles are returning, and Jules will lose his space battle virginity
Yes.
on current gen.
As will millions of us that didn't pay for the DLC.
Yeah.
So-
Other things returning. Millennium Falcon we saw.
Yes.
Yep.
Whoosh.
You can fly that in current battle. It's difficult knowing whether to call it Battlefront 1 or Battlefront.
Should we just call it? Should we call it the new old one?
The
It's
new
just
old one?
It's
Yeah.
the Xbox One thing.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay.
Did because assumedly that's Takodana, where he's like she whoever's piloting that thing, whether
Yeah.
it's Rey or whatever.
Did you just assume that ship's gender?
I did. It's 2017. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I will not tweet about it. But yeah, the whole thing with that looks like Takodana, which like assumedly Episode 7 content, Episode 7 maps.
Yeah.
You know, Maz Kanata's place.
And again, I've put space battles returning, which is what we've just talked about.
Cool.
So that was good. I wouldn't
I'd
even
say
read what I was going to say.
If they
there.
can sneak in Galactic Conquest,
I know everyone's saying that.
that was my bloody jam.
They
back
will,
in the
man. They
day.
will.
Like,
They will.
I think everyone's been asking for it.
I
think
know
they
it's
must
so
do.
fun though, so fun.
So like another new thing, which again, if they're listening to all the complaints from the last Battlefront, looks like tauntauns are rideable now.
Yeah, they're
And, like,
back from Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and like for some reason they were taken out of like 2015's Battlefront, but in the footage that we just got, it's like a 2-second shot of a tauntaun being ridden, headbutting a dude.
Yeah, you couldn't do that before, I don't think.
No, I don't
Not
think
that
you
I
could
recall.
attack with them. They were more just like a transport
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But it looks like you can weaponize tauntauns now,
That
which
looks
is
good.
cool.
Which obviously confirms that Hoth is there because obviously tauntauns only live on Hoth.
Yeah, but like more, it looked way more shiny and like sun-dossed,
Yeah.
sun-glothed. I'm just making up words. There's a lot of sun because it made me look to the background mountains to even realize it was Hoth. I was
Right,
like, oh,
right.
a tauntaun's on somewhere else, but I
Right,
think
yeah.
it's still Hoth.
Well, yeah, but that's good. Tauntauns nailing guys in the face.
Tilly tauntauns.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside. But, I mean,
Darker.
Obviously, they've not worked with Ben.
no.
In terms of like really nerdy background detail speculations, there's one bit where it shows a whole bunch of stormtroopers like shooting laser fire to the left-hand side, and if you pause and frame by frame it, in the background the Imperial flag is there. So assumedly they're defending somewhere, they're not attacking somewhere. And so my initial thought was that they're defending Starkiller base, but you notice the tree that's there.
There's like a what appears to be like a cherry tree or some sort of like blossom tree there, which would imply that it's probably not going to be on Starkiller base because why would they have a
Yeah, of course,
tree
they-
there?
they
But-
know trees.
But they might be instead either on Coruscant because it's kind of like that gives that off in industrial and luxurious vibe, or it might be at the Jedi Temple, and this might be us witnessing
Order 66.
Order 66, maybe.
But why would the
But they
Imperial
were
flags be there?
stormtroopers rather than... Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, again, it's just
They'd have to like take over somewhere, they try to take it back, maybe maybe.
the fact is that we did not see who they were fighting against. It's obviously assumed that it's probably going to be the rebels, but
Yeah.
what if it wasn't? What if it was them just f***ing killing civilians? Like,
Wow.
what if it was just that, or like
With
you
an
don't-
80-80?
Yeah, I mean,
an
like,
AT-AT.
We don't need to see more
whichever one you choose.
youngling death.
Oh,
We've
I
had
do.
enough of that.
No, I definitely.
That's
see
just-
this.
Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Killing younglings.
Another thing I noticed, and it might have just been the fact that because this is a leak, I don't think anyone's got an HD version of it. It's like 480p,
Did you-
or like it's...
This is potentially for these guys as well as us. Do you see how the leak happened?
No.
There was EA's official Twitter put it on for like a second and then realised that they weren't supposed to. They take it back off again.
but people
People
have
caught
read
it.
it.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's why there's not an HD
Wow.
version. They'll probably respond to that and put the proper version out.
Yeah.
So maybe like, I don't know, like the version that you guys might see might be the better one than what we saw.
Yeah.
The content
Yeah.
will be the same though.
Currently, we've got one that's been like downloaded from Twitter, I guess. And, but it seems to me that the flag at what seems to be Starkiller Base, the Nazi stage, doesn't have the First Order black cog on it. It's just red cloth.
I
So is
didn't
it like
notice that.
very, very early First Order, and they've not even got an emblem yet? Like
That
would be amazing.
That would make
Super
sense.
early.
I mean, one of the things is that, like, say we follow that, whoever that female character is, that's the Imperial Guard or whatever, she sees the Death Star blow up, and then we jump to her in, if that scene that I described is them defending Starkiller Base,
Yeah.
then she would be a lot older. So we would see the rise of the First Order
and it would
through her
explain the
campaign.
difference in her voice because it was obviously definitely two different female.
When she
voices.
says "Avenge our Emperor,"
yeah,
yeah.
to me it sounded like that.
Because
anyway.
that either means that we're going to stick with the dark side stuff, we're going to stick with like the evil side. Because no game's ever done that.
No.
Obviously, like Force Unleashed kind of did, but then they made him a hero anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like we've never seen.
There's always like a redemption at the end, like, oh, they're a rebel, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that. I want them to actually do a dark side or like an evil, whatever, like campaign and stick with that and do the Fallout on their side. side. Because I think like if you're gonna do the Rogue One seriousness thing, you've opened the floodgates to do a super serious story.
I'd be well up for that.
Whatever our new main character is flying, that's a whole new ship. The ship design, I think. Didn't look like anything else.
No, at first I thought it was. It looks a bit like Darth Maul ship, that has the foldable wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. Like
No.
Maul ship is super smooth, and that has all like kind of greebles on it and stuff. So that's everything we think we've spotted, and anything we want to talk about in this thing. But if you think you've spotted anything else, or got any theories of your own on what this campaign could be, let us know in the comments below. And stick with us. We'll be covering this game as it comes out, and also over on the main channel. There's going to be some Star Wars stuff this week. There's going to be loads of Star Wars stuff this week. Last Jedi.
6:30 UK time, I believe, is when that trailer drops on Friday.
Woo!
So
get hype.
Stick with What Culture in all of its forms for all of your Star Wars video game and film news. I've been Peter from whatculture.com.
I've been Scott from whatculture.com.
I've been Snoke for whatculture.com.
Do have the head.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I looked down as I did the hands. It's fine.
Fine.
Well, at least you didn't say what cut.
What
What couture?